Many people have asked me to talk about the origins of the boule. Why would you use the term boule, black boule? Why y'all saying that? And why a lot of y'all who's making content is against them? Who are they? How did they get started? Why are they a problem to the black community? So let's talk about the black boule and why they have been a problem. We're going to go through some things. So the black boule itself, and we'll put this up on the screen here. It was started in 1904. Now, the first black Greek secret society was formed in Philadelphia by Dr. Henry Minton and his 5 colleagues. Okay. Now, you see them on the screen. The boule is an acronym for Sigma Pi Phi, and it was formed to bring together a select group of educated black men and women fashioned after Yale's Skull and Bones, right? Now, the Skull and Bones is another secret society. Many of you know about that. Now, the boule historically takes pride in providing leadership and service to black Americans during the Great Depression, World War I and II, and the Civil Rights Movement. So many people say, what could the boule offer America's blacks in the 21st century? So joining the exclusive secret society offered advancement and perks to the select blacks in return for loyalty to its objectives. Now, they believe in the talented 10th. Now, any of you know about the talented 10th? That belief is the best and brightest of black America, which is 10%, should be running to 90%. So they say, while the majority of ordinary blacks were disenfranchised, the boule members, they were doing good. This is historically, okay? Understand that. Boule members live a good life in America. They benefit off the system of racism and white supremacy. And they benefit off of your oppression and my oppression. They benefit from that. Understand. All these ones, Jack and Jill and the Lynx and all these little societies like that, they all tied in. Understand that. Notice that all the ones, they all know each other. They hang with each other.
Let's talk about something that's been hiding in plain sight for decades, the boule. For those who don't know, we're talking about the network of black fraternities, sororities, and their graduate chapters that have positioned themselves as the gatekeepers of black political thought. These are your alphas, your deltas, your AKAs, your kappas, your omegas, the college-educated black folks who decided they were our natural-born leaders simply because they could afford Greek letters and step shows. You see, the boule has always operated as the middleman between white political power and black communities. They were the translators, the validators, the ones who would take whatever scraps the Democratic Party offered and repackage them as victories for black America. They were the buffer class, educated enough to speak to white politicians, black enough to maintain credibility in our communities, and ambitious enough to sell out both sides when necessary. The boule represents the house slave mentality dressed up in corporate suits and sorority letters. They genuinely believe that their proximity to white power makes them more valuable, more important, more qualified to speak for the rest of us. They've built entire careers on being the acceptable black faces that white politicians could point to when questioned about their commitment to our community. And for decades, it worked. These organizations became the Democratic Party's black pipeline. Need a black endorsement? Call the local NAACP president, who's probably an alpha. Need someone to calm down an angry black community? Send in the AKA mayor or the Delta City councilwoman. Need to show diversity at your campaign event? The Divine Nine will fill your stage with black faces who know how to code switch perfectly for white comfort. Think about this from a business perspective. The boule operated like a pyramid scheme, where their value was entirely dependent on their ability to deliver black votes to Democratic candidates. They were middle management in a corporation they didn't own, taking orders from executives who saw them as useful but replaceable. Let's be brutally honest about what the boule represents in black America. These are the people who got their degrees, joined their organizations, and immediately started looking down on the rest of us. They speak with this air of superiority, like their college education and Greek letters somehow made them more authentically black than those of us who didn't have access to higher education or chose different paths. The boule was never leading us. They were just following us while pretending to be out front. The psychological impact on these organizations has been devastating. Their entire identity was built on being the bridge between black and white political worlds. Without that role, What are they? Just social clubs for middle-class black folks who like to step and throw parties. The churches, the Greek organizations, the civil rights groups, they had a clear playbook: wine and dine the leaders, give them access and recognition, and trust them to deliver their communities. The BOULE always claimed to represent black interests, but their primary loyalty was to their own social and professional advancement. They were more concerned with maintaining their seats at white tables than with ensuring those tables served black communities. Look at black politicians who came through the BOULE system. They learned early that success meant being palatable to white voters and white donors. They mastered the art of speaking black in the hood and speaking white in the boardroom. These are the people who would show up in our communities during election season, talking about our shared struggles and the importance of representation, then disappear for 4 years while voting for policies that hurt black families. They used their Greek letters and their degrees as shields against criticism.
Counterfeit, like LeBron James, who has that BOULE logo tattooed on his chest. When LeBron retires, his number would be called 2. Okay, this is how the deep state, he thinks that he's just going to retire, and that's why he doesn't want to retire. You know the former NBA player Dwayne Wade?
Correct.
His son Zion is now called Zaya. Okay, this is how these people within the system, to go to the next level, you have to sacrifice something. This goes back thousands of years during the time of the pharaohs. If a man wanted to have access to Pharaoh, he had to sleep with the male magician. If a woman wanted to have access to Pharaoh, she had to sleep with the female magician. If a parent wanted their child to see Pharaoh, that child had to sleep with a male or female magician. Nothing has changed. In the rap industry, to go at a certain level financially, you have to be what we call broken.
Humiliation.
I began to break it down and show them that, brother, all this stuff was designed to create secret societies, and out of those fraternities, they pick the people that they want in business, banking, politics, leadership. They gotta come out of those societies. Same way with the women. They've gotta come out of those societies. And they have to pledge your allegiance, and you have to be a part of it. And most of them, because those societies, Greek societies, they sing Christian songs sometimes, and they do a lot of Christian stuff. The people in them think they're Christian because most black folk, when they send their kids off to school, they came up usually in some type of Christian home, So that's how they fool you, because you thinking because they're saying something, they might even talk about God. But if you listen to the oaths, which nobody hears but the initiates, and you realize they're talking about covenants with these Greek deities, or these really spirits. Are y'all, come on, can we talk or not talk?
There would also be times where, I can't say that it happened to me, that I've seen people getting physically slapped.
Okay. So what does the paddling look like?
So the paddling looks like we have a position that we were instructed to get into. And what that looks like is you have to protect your genitals. You have to bend over, touch your ankles. Besides the fact that it's humiliating, it's also one of those things that is done in front of everyone.
But your clothes are on.
The clothes were on. And we would have the paddle, and we would take it. We would have to recite either a poem or cardinal principles or that type of thing. We would say one, we would take a lick. We would say another principle, we would take a lick. And after it's done, and it's not done by one. Everybody that's a part of your line.
They even beating y'all. You let other grown men beat you like you some doggone slave on the plantation. You're getting beat. You're not doing anything about it because this is what I got to go through to be part of this fraternity. Man,
Stop it, my nigga.
Secret societies, Greek lettered frats and sororities, Freemasons, etc. are movements that are submitted to the gods of the movement. Greek societies, Greek letter frats, sorors, Freemasons, etc. are movements that are submitted to the gods of the movement. Come on. I mean, ain't that true? Don't you pledge to a god? A Greek god? When you go through initiation and hazing, you are performing a ritual or rite of passage into the evil bloodline of Satan worship. Somebody says, well, how is it Satan worship? You don't remember what I told you? Mythology are the legends in which demons disguise themselves. They let you know they was a bunch of demons, you ain't pledging.
But in America now, there are over 2,000 different religions. And we've got to guard against Israel got judged tremendously because they allowed them to bring all kinds of different religions into Israel, into Judah, even into the temple. They had erected gods, altars to false gods in Solomon's temple. No wonder the temple was burnt to the ground. And they're trying to bring gods and false gods and things into the church now. The Masons have no place in the church. If you read the book of Freemasonry, Freemasonry doesn't mention the God of the Bible at all. The name of the God that's in Freemasonry is not the God of the Bible. So why do these Masons have such a good grip in so many churches?
Though you may try to retain the true God of gods while you pledging. I said, though you may try to retain the true God while you're pledging, you deny him when you accept the false God of the organization. That's new members class 101, first day of Sunday school. Thou shalt have no other God before. Can we learn the 10 Commandments?
In fact, I'm going to have a show of several of my favorite black people. And I'm going to have them go around in a circle, and show off all their diamonds and their tattoos and their hairdos and all of this. I'm going to groom them well, just like I do the rest of my animals, my dogs, my horses, my other stable of other things, in order to do what? Embellish me. Say, hey, I am so wealthy that I can make my Negroes think that they are kings. Put them on a pedestal and have them prance around and show off particularly to other Negroes about all the wonderful things that they got from me.
As your body grows bigger, your mind must flower. It's great to learn, 'cause knowledge is power. It's Schoolhouse Rocket, a chip off the block of your favorite